Although I have been in this world for almost 2 decades, I have missed many of the world's greatest moments. There are numerous events that I wish I could relive. However, 3 that I wish I could experience are the shot heard around the world, Christmas truce of 1914, and the 2012 Olympics with the United States women's soccer national team versus Japan. Let's start with the shot heard around the world. It's April 19th, 1775, in Lexington, Massachusetts. The British troops are ready to fight the American colonists. They made a plan to seize weapons and ammunition held by the colonists. The British arrive, and 70 Minutemen from the colonist side line up due to a message sent out by Paul Revere and several other horse riders. There is a patch of green in between them. It is dead silent. No one wants to make the first move. Then boom, someone made the first shot. But who? A battle starts and a dozen of shots go off. 8 Americans die while 1 British man dies. This clash becomes the battles of Lexington and Concord. The shot heard around the world would be the start to the most influential moment in American history, the American Revolution. In the end, the colonists formally won their independence from the British. Till this day, no one knows who took the first shot. Therefore, I would love to be a fly on the wall to end this debate. Next, let's head to the Christmas truce. It's December 24th, 1914, in the Western Front during World War I, 5 months after the outbreak of the war in Europe. All the rifles, firings, and shells exploding took a standstill on this day. There is an unofficial ceasefire due to the holiday celebration. From one side of the trenches, the German troops came out, and on the other side, the British troops rose from their trenches. They joined together in singing beautiful Christmas carols and playing instruments. The night ceased, and all went back to the trenches peacefully. The next morning, Christmas Day, the Germans rose from the trenches and called out Merry Christmas in English. The British approached with hands filled with cigarettes and plum pudding as presents. The Germans lit a Christmas tree, and they all gathered, singing carols and songs. On the other end, some soldiers retrieved their friends' bodies whose lives had been lost in no man's land. The night ended with both sides playing a fair game of soccer. With all the fighting and hatred that this war embodied, it is beautiful to see the love and happiness that a holiday can bring and how people can come together. Unfortunately, this is the last time in warfare history that enemies came together for a day to celebrate. This is why I would love to watch this event happen in person. Finally, let's head to the women's soccer United States team versus Japan's women's soccer team. It's the 2012 Olympics in London. This matchup has a lot riding on it. It's the fight for the gold medal. In the previous year, the 2011 World Cup in July, the American women lost to the Japanese women when the two teams went into penalty kicks after tying 2-2. The United States was out for revenge. Both teams were powerhouses. The tensions were high, but who would win? London's Wembley Stadium, England's National Soccer Stadium, set a new attendance record with more than 80,000 spectators. The United States knew that Japan plays more of a possession style. They slow the game down and make their opponents play a defensive style. This forced the United States to speed up the game, attack more, and get as many chances on goal as possible. The game starts. Both teams have several early chances on net. But then, in the 8th minute, the United States scores. At first, the goal is credited to Abby Wambach from a beautiful cross from Alex Morgan. 2 minutes later, as the goal was rewatched, the official goal was given to Carli Lloyd, who was there and headed it in. Some tension rises in the 17th minute when Christie Rampone made a goal line clearance to stop Japan from scoring. The middle of the match remained pretty quiet, despite chants from the U.S. side screaming, "USA, USA." Finally, in the 54th minute, Carli Lloyd did it again as she dribbled through Japan's defense and shot it in the goal. Japan steps it up in the 63rd minute and making the score 2-1. The noise level increases as the game gets closer. The U.S. earns a penalty kick, but they are unable to make something of it. Then, with 5 minutes left in the game, Hope Solo makes the save heard around the world after an incredible save from a curling shot by Japan. The nerve-wracking game comes to an end with the United States women's soccer team being gold medalists for the 4th time. That is why I would love to be at the stadium watching this beautiful game unfold in person. In the end, these 3 events would be awesome to experience if I was given the opportunity.